Welcome to the Fit 2 series. On this episode, we'll be talking to the CEO of BOMAC, the president of Empire Fitness, a sports medicine physician, the man who would break you up and then build you up. Coming to tell us what it means to be fit to fight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kent Bazard. Yo, Kent, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Pleasure to be here. And thanks for having me.
No problem. How was my form, man? Did I pivot right and then say I do the fake kick it, then I went up high to the neck, so that's, how's that?
We can work on it. We can work on it.
But there's something there to work with.
There's a little foundation there.
Okay. Woo! Say, I'm light, Ken, I'm ready. Woo! Okay, I gotta get my cardio up first.
Being mobile is important.
Okay, so, Ken, tell us about your fitness journey.
Well, I was very fortunate to be born to fairly athletic parents. My father was, a social athlete, but my mom, she was a thrower at government high school, the government high school.
At that time.
The government high school. She was a thrower, and she actually had the record there in shot put and discus for a long time. They actually sent her a message in like 2006 or something to tell her it was broken. So it was there for a long time. And my siblings, my older siblings, they were sprinters and quarter milers. The cute one was a cheerleader. And I was a sprinter as well in primary school. I had the record at my high school. I went to school on a track scholarship. And I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid. So always an athletic house. And of course, in those days, we used to skate, ride, bike, and all of that stuff. So I was always athletic, always active. And I was interested in medicine at a very young age, always interested in science. I wanted to be a doctor. By the time I was in 12th grade, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. Wow. And I just followed that path.
Okay, awesome. So skates back then, that's when you had the steel skates.
Yeah, them heavy 40-pound skates. Yeah.
And if you grew up in a household like my mom done grew up in, sometimes you had to have one skate then.
Just push. We share skates.
Stay on board.
Yeah, man. I know.
So, Kent, you say you have a track background. I can see the power. You get out the blocks good. I could see that there. So how did you get into martial arts? Where did BOMAC cage fighting come into play? So tell us about that journey.
Well, I have a Karate Kid story. When I was in 6th grade at Bahamas Academy.
Before you continue, does this move actually work?
I wouldn't do that in the street.
Okay.
That's good. It looks good, and it's good for performance. But I'm more moved to the practical side of martial arts a little later.
Okay.
But
practical side.
No, because that's a good point that you made there. But in the 6th grade, I was a prefect for the 3rd grade, and at Bahamas Academy. And after school one day, we were all sitting around. It was late after school. The yard was kind of empty. And one of the kids who was in my 3rd grade class, he had some firecrackers. You remember back in the day, if you had a firecracker, you were like celebrity. Yeah. So he had this big firecracker, man, and you're just holding it. You ain't even trying to light it. You just have it. And you're popular just because you have it. And everybody just waiting for you to light it one day. But this 9th grader came along. I could still remember his face to this day. He came along, basically took it from him and was like taunting him. He lived Camp Road was right around the corner. He lived through Camp Road, ran home and came back on his bike, riding around, teasing the guy, taunting the guy. And I said, listen, give the guy back his thing. And the kid's there crying. And he's like, make me. Well, I had never been in a fight in my life until that time. I was just dashing with my cousins and stuff. And so I say, okay, I jump off the table and I pushed him off the bike, which I probably shouldn't have done. But he got up and we were just, just grappling, you understand? And I think I was holding my own for somebody almost half his size. And then once we broke, he hit me, and I'll never forget this. He hooked me with a lead left hook. Boom! And I never felt anything like that in my life. I still remember the sound it made on my face. That's the sound it made. That's the sound it made because my mouth was open. And I never felt anything like that in my life. And I said, you know what? I think this fight is over. And all you could do is sit down and cry. So I sat down. I was like, wow, my head was hurting. I feel like somebody hit me with a bat. So my dad eventually found out. And he said, you know what? I'm taking you to martial arts. He took me to Randy Johnson from the Bazard Institute of Kung Fu. There on D.W. Davis Field when I was 8, 9. And I've been doing martial arts since then. I went to college. When I went to college, I started doing Shaolin Kung Fu. I was fortunate enough.
Any kind of Kung Fu other than Shaolin, you know, Drunken Master Kung Fu? Like what's too much movies again.
There's about 1,000 recognized styles. And who knows how many unrecognized styles. So I learned Shaolin Kung Fu. This is Northern Shaolin Eagle Claw, so to be specific.
Northern
Shaolin Eagle Claw, right?
Okay, what about the snake that you...
I didn't do any snake, but Eagle Claw was one.
The fella actually doing the move. Okay, what about Drunken Master style? Let me.
No, I love Drunken Master.
Hold on now.
I did real Kung Fu, man.
Say no more.
I did real Kung Fu. I did.
Okay,
I know Drunken style. I know Drunken style.
I cannot take it, please.
So that's why I learned all of that stuff, all the performance of Kung Fu, because in the foundation with Randy, he taught us a lot about being the Hungar style, which is strong and low stuff. So all that hard stuff, right, and strong. When I went to the States, I learned about all the 12 animals and all the other stuff in Shaolin, but my instructor at the time, Sifu John Venegas, he was a fighter and his teacher was a fighter. Because there are usually two branches you could go in the Shaolin Temple. You can be a low-hand monk, which is a warrior monk, or you can be one of the spiritual monks who do more of the Kung Fu stuff and the Qigong. So his instructor was a warrior monk, and of course that stuff gets passed down. So these guys were fighters. So they did Chinese boxing, which the term most commonly used is sanda. And sanda just means free hand. I mean, it means free hand, or they say san shao, which means free form. So what that means is it's full contact fighting. So we started doing that. It involves striking and wrestling, which is kind of weird or rare. In the Chinese martial arts, everybody sees the drunken style and the crane and all that stuff, but most people don't see the wrestling part. They don't see the grappling and the submission moves and the death holds. They don't see that a lot, and especially the northern stylists, because in northern China, it was so, in southern China, it was so rocky in those places, so they didn't want to go to the ground a lot. So most of their fights were standing up. See what I'm saying? But more the central and northern stylists, they went to the ground a lot. That's where you got all the grappling, the Mongolian wrestling.
Now, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to put you to the test.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Google what you say afterwards, because I don't know, you're saying it with so much confidence. You're saying it with your chest that I am believing you, right?
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to. But what are I can put you to the test now. I know you were taught this. Let me see if you remember.
Let me see.
What are the 12 animals of Kung Fu?
Oh, Jesus. Snake, eagle, crane. Now here the word tiger. What is it? Snake already. Lion. Phoenix. Dog.
Y'all keep note.
Dog. Oh Lord, I'm drawing a blank here. Now you go into obscurity. Monkey. How could I forget that? That's 8. I can't remember the rest.
No problem, man. That's good enough for me. So,
I can't remember the rest.
by your thinking, and then from my negotiating days, they told me when the eye move, in particular,
Dragon.
You actually moving. One way is actually you going to the memory part of your brain or the creative side. You went to the memory, so you actually were trying to find out the trend. So I believe you now. Yeah. See, I was doing my negotiator skills on you. I came up on the FBI training. When I got your Kung Fu training, I had my FBI training, but most people don't know. But that's
more
a
useful.
secret. So we can let that slide for now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So that's good, man. We spoke with that. So let's try. I mean, we cover some of this, but what does it mean to be fit to fight? Because everyone say they can fight, and I know one time I was doing boxing. I was trying to explain to people 3 minutes is a very long time in a fight.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like fights don't last that long in the Bahamas.
It's an eternity.
Either it get breaks up, the police come, it's the gang fight. You know, you don't fight for 3 minutes. Most people don't have the cardiovascular to maintain that sort of thing. So what does it mean to be fit to fight? Whether it's in the arena, in the cage, or just in life. What does that mean for Ken?
Well, like I said, my instructor was a fighter, and being a fighter, you have a certain type of spirit. You have the spirit of wanting to persevere to the end, wanting to challenge yourself, wanting to rise to every challenge, meet it, and conquer it, and then move on to the next challenge. And that's essentially how fighters approach their career, and that's how they approach life. You tend to find out how they approach life, and I approach everything I do with that spirit, whether it's business, whether it's my social life. That's the way I approached it. My education, that's the way I approached it. See a goal, challenge yourself to meet it, beat it, and then surpass it, move on to the next one. So for me, being fit to fight is physical as well as mental.
Yes.
So of course, in the physical component, when I went to my instructor in the States, I started training on a physical level that I had never been to before. He will take you to the depths of your physical ability, to the point where you're on the ground after the workout and you just can't move. You're just on the ground there. And it was actually kind of crazy. But like you said, it's 3 minutes, and you can train that hard. And you know, most of our full contact fights are 3-minute rounds. That's 9 minutes with probably a minute break in between. That's a lot, especially for MMA or free-form style fighting. That's a lot of work. And I never realized how much work that was until we started doing it. And I said, you know what? Like, this is real fighting here. This is different than, you know, the kind of karate touch style, the touch style fighting that we did, which was 90 seconds, you know? So being fit to fight meant that, one, we had to condition our body we had to go beyond where we think you would reach, so that when you reach your limit, you're comfortable, you see? And you approach life the same way, you know? You train beyond, or you prepare yourself beyond where you need to be, so that when you reach your limit, you're like, hey, I'm cool.
I've been here before.
Been there before.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. I know I can go beyond this.
Last time I thought I reached my limit, and I trained beyond, like, oh, I can do it. So now you condition your mind that every time you think you reach your limit, you can go on. You
Exactly.
Fighter inside, like you said.
The scariest thing for me in the ring is when you think, for me, it has always been where you think you can't go anymore. That's scary. That's very scary for me. That's a terrible situation, and I've been in that situation. I don't like it. So in life, it's the same thing. I don't like to be in situations where I feel like I cannot achieve what I'm trying to achieve. I can't do what I'm trying. Unlike people that tell me no.
Yeah.
I hate that.
The feeling of that you can't do something.
Right.
Right.
You can't. I can't do this, or you can't achieve this. So I try to approach life the same way I approach my fighting.
I hear you say the scariest thing in the ring is when you reach a certain point. The scariest thing to me is getting into that ring. So, you know, Ken, I need to come to you for some services so you could teach me one or two.
Yeah, man.
You know, then I'm going to build up my confidence, you know, because everyone have all kind of confidence when they shadow fighting. So I can make it seem like I'm a good fighter. I'm not sure I could get into the ring. I can need someone who start when I started, not you, because I can't, you know, only one.
I just told your colleague, street fighting is easy. You know, a lot of times, when I say, for me, I think it's easier because it's reactive most times. Most times you don't know what's going to happen unless you're initiating it. But a lot of times you don't know you don't really know it's going to happen. You don't know anything about your fighters, so you just kind of just do it. Right. Just kind of spur of the moment. This guy pushes you, bam! Oh, we turn around, we got to fight now. So your adrenaline is going, and you're not even thinking about, does this guy have an amazing left hook? Right. You have no idea. Whereas in fighting, as a professional fighter, and especially if you know who your opponent is, if I know Jay has the fastest left kick or the fastest front kick,
Bang!
and he's knocked.
I just threw the kick. Did you see it?
He's knocked. He's knocked out 10 guys with this kick, and now I got to fight him. So I'm thinking, I'm so afraid of this kick, and I'm training, and I have to remember that this guy has a dangerous kick. This guy is very strong. This guy is very fast. This guy never gets tired.
Yeah.
And I'm out of shape. So I got to get in shape. So and when you're walking out to the ring, that's when it starts to hit you. And then you got the crowd. You got all these people who came to watch you get knocked out.
Right, because that's what we don't want a good fight. We want a good fight with someone laying on the mat.
I told him it's not easy. And in the ring, you have 3 opponents. You have your first opponent is yourself. Your second opponent is your fighter. The third opponent is the cage. Right. The cage is the third opponent. All right? Outside the ring, your fourth opponent are the referee and the judges. Okay, yeah. Right? Yeah. Right? So I think it's harder to do that than it is to like get into a spontaneous fight out at fish fry. I think that's easy.
See, because once again, when you said someone push you, right? The normal reaction is like, "Boy, what you dealing with?" You said someone
you don't even
push you. No, but you said someone pushed you, and you said, "Yes, if I pushed someone and they did that, I'm like, pardon I, boss. Clearly I thought you were someone else. I don't want nothing to that. What we drinking?" You know what I mean? If you're rapping,
like this.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, wrong guy.
Not this.
Hey, even if they do that, I can say, you know what, he set me up for something. So you talk about being fit to fight in all the areas, personal, and you also mentioned business. So tell us about your business ventures. Tell us about Empire Fitness.
Well, Empire Fitness, as far as the Empire brand, is the third in the name. Right. The first was Empire Mixed Martial Arts. And then Empire Pro Shop.
I was getting that, Ken. So
sorry,
can I do the interview?
Sorry.
Can I do the interview? But go ahead, you go.
You're the Mike Tyson in this. No, but well, Empire Fitness, we took over. This originally was Gemini Fitness, and as we know, this gym has been here for about 21 years, and has a long history. But we took over 2 years ago, and rebranded as Empire Fitness, and it's part of my move as a sports physician to move fully into my career as in sports medicine. You know, so it's going to tie directly. I'm launching my clinic next year. Okay. In 2021. It's supposed to be 2020, but 2020 said, you know, we're not interested in nothing you guys have to do.
Put a little hold on that.
Put all of that for next year.
We can make sure you're ready to fight for what you want, so we can put some obstacles in front of you. You see? So.
You know, so next year, 2021, I'll be launching my sports clinic, and all that is going to tie in to Empire Fitness. Okay,
awesome. Now, Ken, your last name is Bazard. Where did the name Bazard come from?
Bazard is a French origin. My father is Haitian. He came here as an employee of the British Empire when we were back in the story I heard back in the 60s. Worked for Customs and Immigration, and my mother is from Andros. She's Dean's from Andros, and Exuma. Is my family heritage. Bazard actually means to be frantically busy.
You're living up to your last name, brother.
So we talk about the Bazard curse, and yeah. Okay. I live in it. I'm living it.
Nah, I'm about to go somewhere. How many siblings do you have?
4 siblings.
All right. Is one of your siblings Cheryl Bazard?
My brother's wife.
Okay. Well, yeah. She probably take on.
Oh no, we all married Bazard-worthy people.
Okay, because my first time meeting her, I didn't even know who she was. We were doing a dry try. That's, the triathlon is swim, bike, run, but it was actually inside. So it was like row, bike, and run. And she was like a beast.
Oh, she's a monster.
I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
So I was like, I was rode on the side of the shoes.
Yeah.
Little eagle here. You're not gonna outroad me. I couldn't move for 2 days.
She may not say it. She may not say it, but she's very competitive.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it, okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
She's competitive, boy. She don't play around.
I'm J2, so one that's gonna have to follow the other.
Yeah.
And she was prepared to follow. So I was like, I never forgot her from that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that day, me like I didn't know her name, but you saw her around and you said, "Oh, this is who this person is." But that kind of tenacity,
Yeah.
like she definitely doing the Bazard name proud.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I don't know what it is, but my dad married a woman like that. His sons married women like that. My wife is just the same. She's aggressive, she's competitive, she's smart, she's strong. And so I grew up in a house with a strong woman and just ended up married a strong woman. My brother married a strong woman. Yeah, I wouldn't have it no other way. But yeah, that's the name means frantically busy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's who we are.
And then in all arenas, because I was on a summit she spoke against. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, let's right. So, Ken, if you could have lived any place else other than the Bahamas, where would you live?
Wow. Meaning before married, no wife, no kids, nothing?
But whatever gets you.
Because my wife can see this, so I gotta ask this question properly.
Stop the tape. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me say, if it was before I got married, I wouldn't mind living in northern China, in the more country area, because I've been to Japan. I didn't get to go to the country, but just being there and being around the culture, to me is a deep spirituality that you see in the Asian culture that I really love. I love that deep spirituality. I love that commitment to the things that we cannot see. I'm not really talking about church per se, but just your connection to the energy that we can't see,
right.
the environment and the energy that they tap into. I have this love for that, and I think that I would have been one of those guys up in the mountains, not necessarily away from technology, but I wouldn't mind living on it. The family islands are the same way. The family islands are the same way. Different environment, different culture, but the same way. The same way people say they want to live on the island. It's the same thing in Asia. So if there was one place other than the Bahamas, because Exuma is my first pick, it would probably be northern China. Now, if I was married with family and stuff.
Now that because you are married.
Because I am married.
I'm going to help you with you.
Thank you. But being a married man and living the metropolitan life, one city that I actually loved, London. I like London. London to me is kind of like Nassau, like the traditional British mixed with modern, technology, kind of an American feel, but again, more traditional. And I kind of like another place. Probably another place I think about is Aberdeen, Scotland. Okay. I've been to Aberdeen, Scotland. Beautiful place, and a third one would probably be St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay. St. Petersburg, beautiful people up there.
I only asked for one, but since I can't beat you in a fight, I have to let you go on.
The first one is China, northern China.
Okay, I mean, you can keep on going if you want to, because that's when you could go in that position after a push. You have to let it slide.
It's hard to decide, but those places after Exuma, all of them after Exuma, but yeah, one of those places.
Okay, so tell the people how they can get in contact with you if they want to check out the facilities to work at Empire, if they want to get into mixed martial arts, if they want their kid to get into mixed martial arts. How can people reach out to you? Do you actually train kids as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, COVID-19 kind of really tackled our contact sports program in the Bahamas. All the contact sports kind of took a hit around the world, and it was quite a thing to, and it will still be challenging. So we actually closed our kids program for 2020. Okay. We closed the kids program, and I started doing private sessions, but because it's challenging, it's a close contact sport. The MMA and the wrestling, especially the wrestling and jiu-jitsu aspect, very close. So if you want to reach us here at Empire Fitness, we're in the Seagraves Plaza on Prince Charles. That's the plaza where the big Wendy's is, and just right in the corner. You can reach us at 364-2001. And in 2021, we'll be relaunching our women's self-defense and our kids classes once things start to settle down. And for MMA, okay? And of course, like I said, our sports medicine clinic will be opening in 2021, so you'll be able to reach all of us here as well. And online, we're at empirefitness.fit. And on social media, it's Empire Fitness, Bahamas.
Okay, awesome, man. Good stuff, Ken. And before we go, I'd like to congratulate you on the improvements that you've done to the building. I mean, you clearly take it on as your own. You changed the colors. That was just one thing. Because, you know, it's something in branding.
Yeah.
And then just the bonds, the weights, the machines you're fixing up. So you came here with a mission. I remember when I saw you had the to-do list.
Yeah.
And you made it public to your customers.
Right.
Because this is just seeing people coming to the gym, these are your customers. You said, we are going to do this. Here's the short term, medium term, and long term. And I think if most people approach business like that, that shows your tenacity in the fight to succeed at business. So I'd like to congratulate you on that and be a man of your word.
Thank you.
Put it right. You said you're going to do this, and you started the process in doing these things, even in a challenging environment like COVID.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before we go, is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience?
I'd just like to say to everybody, just to make sure that you have activity as part of your lifestyle. You talk about being fit to fight, but being fit to fight could also refer to fighting illness.
Yes.
You know, and right now the world is fighting an illness. It's fighting an illness that kind of augments the non-communicable diseases that we have in the Bahamas. Like, we're number one in the region for obesity, hypertension, and diabetes.
Yes.
And as we know, COVID-19 kind of augments those, kind of puts a turbo boost on those things. So most people who have succumbed to COVID-19 have had those diseases, 97%. Okay? So having an active lifestyle is very important. So you don't always have to try to start with what the bodybuilders and athletes do. You can start very simple, just 15, 20 minutes of walking, and just grow as you go along. It would be very good to get some guidance from people like yourself, personal trainers, and of course, coming to a gym and getting that guidance and making sure that you're on the right track. And it also helps to motivate you to make sure you achieve your goals. And also, lastly, I'd like to say that we are safe at the gym. The Gym Owners Alliance of the Bahamas have worked very hard to make sure that we're within protocols and keeping everything safe for everybody. To be honest, the protocols are just normal.
Normal gym stuff.
It's just normal gym stuff, really.
Yeah.
You know, with the exception of the masks and the social distancing, is just normal gym stuff.
Yeah.
So gyms in the Bahamas are safe, and you know, support your local gym. Continue to support your local small business, and we'll all get through this. Awesome.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So before we go, I'm going to see who has the best cream. I know you have the monkey stuff, so you win, man. When you start from here, Ken, you got to do normal being and stuff, man. Like just come from here, man. All right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ken, for coming here. Tell us what it means to be fit to fight. Tune in for another episode. We're going to have another dynamic individual who's going to tell us about their personal fitness journey as well as life experiences. Tune in next time to the Fit 2 series. J out.